Hello everyone, this is Terry O'Brien with another episode from JT Sports Cards, and today we are going to be opening up a box completely sealed, brand new, of the 1990 NFL Pro Set cards box. Obviously it's going to be 36 packs in a box. You get 14 photo cards, you get one NFL collectible and one NFL Pro Set playbook in each package, or in each pack, excuse me. But anyhow, we've already opened two baseball boxes on here from 1989 and 1990. We've also opened two basketball boxes, both of them being 1991 with Hoops and Skybox. However, this is our first time opening up a football box, so I am excited for this one. But before we get started, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything that we post for JT Sports Cards. And while you're at it, please give us a look on our online website at jtsportscards.net. There you can buy basketball, baseball, football cards, both graded and ungraded, PSA, SGC, raw. We also have we got rookie cards, we've got jersey cards, we've got autographs. So please check us out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start getting into this football box. Now, I also want to welcome you to please leave us a comment about different kind of things that maybe you would like to see in the future. Different kinds of things you would like to see on the channel, because I always want to make sure that I'm bringing in the kind of content and stuff that our viewers is going to want to see. Now, mind you, there's certain boxes and certain things I would love to have on here that you see in a lot of these big expensive companies, you know, having these 2, 3, I mean, some all the way up to $1,000 boxes that they're breaking. And I'm just, be frankly honest with you, I can't afford that right now. So I like being able to get some of these old wax pack, or as I call them, the junk wax era. But I love having the opportunity to be able to break into some of these old boxes and get a little bit of nostalgia out of it as well. Plus you get a chance of getting older rookies in mint condition, which will only be worth more money if they grade high. All right, so as you can see, we have all of our packs, never been opened. First time the shrink wrap's been taken off the box. So let's go ahead and get us a stack here. And let's start ripping some packs. So just the same kind of format we did in a lot of the videos. We're going to go with 9 at a time. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the one where you will find Emmitt Smith's rookie. You'll find Barry Sanders Rookie of the Year. You'll find Junior Seau's rookie in here. So this actually, this is going to be kind of neat because I haven't had a chance to ever open a box of these in my life. So let's go. Here's a playbook. And first card we get, Troy Aikman. Now, Troy Aikman's card sells for about $50 if you end up getting it in PSA 10 condition. But he was, you know, one of the main catalysts between him and Michael Irvin and Emmitt Smith that brought all of those championships to the Dallas Cowboys in the 90s. Bear with me here. I want to get something. I want to sleeve him up. It's the one thing I forgot to get out before the video was to make sure I had my penny sleeves and top loaders ready to go. But not to fear, I got you covered right here. Now, I was a Cowboys fan back in the day. I was a huge fan of Emmitt Smith. But they had such great teams in the 90s that it was hard for me to pick one over the other. So I was a fan of the 49ers. I was a fan of the Cowboys. I was a fan of Barry Sanders, even though that, you know, you didn't get a whole lot out of the, here we go. You didn't get a whole lot out of the rest of the Detroit Lions lineups, but you definitely ended up getting production from Barry Sanders. All right, so let's continue on the pack. Mike Merriweather, Jerry Gray, Roger Craig, Mike Carrier, Steve Wisniewski, Ron Hallstrom, Tom Newberry, Gary Anderson, Dino Hackett, Tom Landry, Donald Igibuki, Eric Howard, Eric Sievers, and Super Bowl 5. So far, one pack down, we've already pulled Hall of Fame quarterback Troy Aikman. Let's get the next one in. Show you what at least what the packs look like when you got them back then. Started going to the plastic more than like the wax packs that you saw in the 80s. All right, got another chance to win a trip to the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure that's expired now. Got Eric Metcalf, Wade Wilson. There's something on the back. Yeah. Jim Everett, Pete Holohan, Irvin Randall, Pro Bowl selection, Leslie O'Neal, Mark Murphy, Sean Settle, Carnell Lake, Leonard Smith. Oh, and Joe Montana, Player of the Year. This card, if you do manage to get it in a PSA 10, it actually sells right now for about $65. Before I even open these boxes, I always research a rundown of the cards it's contained in these specific boxes, what they're selling, you know, are there any special stories behind specific cards? Because when we pull something on this channel, I want you to be able to have the information that you also need on why the card might be something you can look after even for yourself. And there we have Joe Montana. All right, finish pack off. We got Jack Pardee, Paul Aligre, Luis Oliver, and then Super Bowl 17. I got to really think about those Roman numerals sometimes to get the Super Bowls right in order. Move on to the next pack. We got Playbook again, Thane Gash, Keith Millard, Kevin Green, Vince Newsom, Bruce Hill, Mike Diall, Dan Lakowski, Tony Casillas, Tim Worley, Jim Ridger, Jack Lambert, Kelvin Martin, Bart Oates, Harry Galbraith, and Super Bowl 21. Bear with me here. I think I got my camera a little too far back. Yes, I do. All right. Now let's adjust Troy Aikman here. Here we go. Next pack. All right, next playbook. Wayne Fontes, Kevin Butler, Probo in Hawaii, John Taylor, Mike Schottenheimer, John Grimsley, Johnny Hector, Nick Lowry, Mike Munchak, Bob St. Clair, Albert Bentley, and look here, folks, Dan Marino. Now, if you are able to get this card in a Gem Mint 10, it sells for around $55. Sorry about the change in the camera there. It just didn't look right, and I readjusted everything. But we had just got done pulling the Dan Marino out of a pack of the 1990 Pro Set. Now, this Dan Marino, as I just said, if you get it, if you're fortunate enough to get him in this card, make sure the glare is okay. This card in a Gem Mint 10 sells for about $55. So that's actually not that bad to pull that out of the pack. I actually didn't invest a whole lot of money into the box itself. I think I got less than $20 in the whole box. So you just never know. You might be able to get fortunate with some of these Hall of Fame players and make some money off of it. So anyway, to finish the pack off, we got Roy Green, and then we got Super Bowl VI. All right, so we have went through 3 packs, excuse me, got 6 left, and we have already pulled Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, and Dan Marino. Ironically, all 3 quarterbacks. So let's move on to our next pack. Another win trip to the Super Bowl card. We got Dan Reeves, Willie Gault, Greg Cragen, Probo, Reggie Langhorn, and Mr. John Elway, another Hall of Fame quarterback and 2-time Super Bowl champion. This card in a Gem Mint 10, John Elway pulls around 50 if it's in a 10. These cards are difficult to get in a 10 because they are notorious for having whiting on the side of the edges, which obviously knocks the grades down. The corners are good. I haven't seen any horribly like centered cards. Most of them have been pretty close. However, like I said, that they're bad to get a lot of whiting around the edges, and of course that will definitely knock the card grade and value down. So let's go ahead and put another stand up, and Mr. John Elway. So now we got 4 quarterbacks up here. We got Aikman, Montana, Marino, and Elway. So right there's basically the strongest quarterbacks in most of the 90s. All right, let's keep going. Norm Johnson, Vaughn Johnson, Ricky Dixon, Reggie White. I loved him. He's a great player back in the day. Jim Kelly, another Hall of Fame quarterback. Ted Hendricks, Hall of Fame. Christian Okoye, Pro Bowl. Carl Banks. Feels like there's something behind him too. There is. Okay. Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, Rookie of the Year. And there it is, him holding the Rookie of the Year trophy. Oh man, I was hoping that I'd get, because I said earlier that Barry Sanders is like legitimately my favorite running back. This card in a PSA 10 sells for an estimated $125. So this right here could essentially be a $125 card. And I do not see whiting around the edges, which is great. Corners are good. Centering is good. Folks, we could potentially be looking at a $125 card right here. Oh man, I'm ecstatic for that. Let's move old Aikman, since he was the first one we put up. We've looked at him long enough. And now let's put our Barry Sanders Rookie of the Year. Awesome. And then, of course, we got Super Bowl 16. So, all right, that makes 4 packs. And we have already pulled Troy Aikman, Joe Montana, Dan Marino, John Elway, and Barry Sanders Rookie of the Year. Move on to another pack. And we also pulled an honorable mention in Jim Kelly. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. We got another chance to make it to the Super Bowl. Obviously expired. Tyrone Braxton. Steve Beuerlein. Frank Minifield, Pro Bowl selection. Michael Carter. Vincent Brown. Brian Millard. John Fourcade. Eric Thomas. Max Montoya, Pro Bowl. Nate Odoms. Franco Harris, Hall of Fame. Merrill Hogue. Pepper Johnson. Chris Miller. And Super Bowl 15. Move on to the next pack. We've already went through 5. This is pack number 6. So we got Playbook as well. Bud Carson. Don Mosbar. Excuse me. Brian Blades. Mike Cofer. Sammy Smith. Joe Nash. Jim Wilkes. Gary Zimmerman. Make sure. Oh, yeah, I knew that was another one. Yeah. These cards have been together for so long, they don't like to get separated at times. Gary Zimmerman. Buddy Ryan. Daryl Tolley. And look here, another Joe Montana. And this is the passing leader. This was Player of the Year. Now this one is the passing leader. Now the Joe Montana passing leader only sells for around, if you get a gem at 10, it only sells for around 55. Let's get him penny sleeved and top loaded. I always loved Joe Montana. I've opened through all this. I'll also end up pulling my favorite wide receiver of all time, and that is none other than Jerry Rice. All right, we're going to remove Marino. Put Montana up here next to himself. So. All right, and to finish off this pack, we have Ken Norton, David Maggette, and Deion. What do you know? Mr. Deion Sanders finally paid us a visit. This one also brings somewhere around $55 as a Gem Mint 10. So if you watched any of my most recent videos, I have a short on there of us pulling a Deion Sanders rookie card out of the 1989 baseball traded series. Yes, I know that it was supposed to be in there anyway. I get that. But at the same time, you know, you never know what kind of condition it's going to be in. And it was in mint condition, centered and all. All right, so we're going to move this Joe Montana since it's been there the longest. And we're going to put Mr. Deion Sanders here. All right. And then we had Super Bowl 13 to finish that pack. All right, so we only have 3 to go. So I'm going to do like I've done in some of my other videos. I'm going to go ahead and open all 3 packs. Lay them down in a stack. And then we're just going to move through all 3. Go a little bit quicker that way. See, I know that Dan Marino never ended up winning a championship, but I do know that the Dolphins have been in the Super Bowl, I think 3 or 4 times in their history. So let's go ahead and work from left to right. Start here. Get the sweepstakes card off. We got Ricky Natiel, excuse me. Chris Dolman. Come on. Chris Dolman. Greg Bell. George Seifert. Andre Tippett. Dave Wyman. Pat Swilling. Marcus Cotton. Keith Willis. Scott Norwood. And Thurman Thomas. Now, this particular Thurman Thomas, if it's in a Gem 10, sells for roughly $40. He was actually the total yardage leader for 1989. So, obviously, he was really coming into himself, starting to hit his prime. I don't think the guy gets enough credit. Mind you, I know that he was playing during the era when you had Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith, so it's really hard to shine bright enough to outshine those guys, because you're talking Emmitt Smith being the all-time rushing leader in NFL history. You talk about Barry Sanders that retired even in his prime. Nobody was able to touch him during that time, not even Emmitt. All right, so let's go ahead and remove Mr. Elway here. Put Thurman Thomas up there. Finish off this pack. We have Joe Bugle, Gary Glanville, and then Super Bowl 23. All right. Let's move on to the next pack. Remove the sweepstakes. See if I can feather these out somehow to get them to not be stuck together. Got Vance Johnson, Joey Browner, excuse me, Mike Wilcher, Randall McDaniel, Lars Tate, Marv Levy, Frank Warren, Andre Bruce, Greg Lloyd, Cornelius Bennett, Andre Ware, Heisman Trophy winner, Crawford Kerr, and Mr. Bill Parcells, Eddie Brown, and then Super Bowl 19. All right, one more pack and we'll be done with this video for the 1990 NFL Pro Set. All right, so remove the sweepstakes card and the card stuck to the back of it. By the way, these are little booklets too. You would actually scratch these off and you would have something under it, like, you know, be amazing to scratch one of them off and just see. We might even have a winning box and not even know it. We may do a video on that. Charles Mann, Anthony Carter, and see, these aren't gloss cards, so they're not stuck gloss. It's just they're, I don't know, it's Jackie Slater, Carl Lee, Vinny Testaverde, Bud Carson, Pro Bowl selection, Ricky Jackson, Bill Frolic, Lewis Lips, Mark Kelso, Walter Stanley, Ron Moyer, Phil Simms, Vai Sikahema, and Super Bowl 11. All right, so that was not a bad opening. We went through 9 packs, and as a recap, we pulled John Elway, Joe Montana Player of the Year, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, Thurman Thomas, 89 total yardage leader, Joe Montana, 89 NFL passing leader, Deion Sanders, and Barry Sanders, Rookie of the Year, that if Jim's a 10, would be worth around $125. So, with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Like I said, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on, check out our website at jtsportscards.net. And until next time, God bless and peace.